A Galaxy Man Show interview show. So, for my very first guest of this week is this incredible singer and songwriter known by the name of Natalie Camren. So, I'm about to add Natalie into the live now to have a chat with Natalie about her incredible music that she's created. So, yeah, let's add Natalie in and have a chat with Natalie.
Hello.
Hi, Natalie. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I just want to say first up, thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It's such a pleasure having you on, Natalie. Uh,
Absolutely.
to people that don't know who you are, if you can give like a bit of backstory about who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Yes, my name's Natalie. I'm from Los Angeles. I studied at Berkeley and in Boston for college, and I'm just an independent musician writing music. Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the very first question now, Natalie. So for my very first question, so you've created such incredible original music for yourself, and you've actually created this incredible song called Risky Business. What was it like creating this song, and what's the meaning behind Risky Business?
I thought it was funny you found that song because I was probably 13 when I wrote that, and I just slapped it on YouTube, and then it's like my mom's favorite song, which is weird. I don't know why, but yeah, when I was 13 or 14, I thought that the chorus of the song should be the main point of the song, and at 19, I still think that, but kind of changed in a different way. So the chorus of that song pretty much just sums it up. It's the hardest part of love is to watch somebody you love somebody else, and it's at 14 or 13, it's oh my god, the world's gonna end, you know what I mean? But at 19, it's just move on, there's plenty of fish in the sea. You know what I mean? So I think it was a really naive way of looking at love, but I'm glad that song exists, and I'll leave it there. Yeah, so happy about it.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So you've also created this other song called "Didn't Get It Right." What was the whole experience getting to create this song, and what's the whole meaning behind this song?
I think I wrote that when I was 16. I was a junior in high school, and I was in an argument with a friend, and other people had gotten involved, and I'm not an argumentative person, so it's I don't like being the center of attention like that. So I remember I got home and I was sitting in my room and I was thinking about how in every interaction between two people in an argument, there's two sides to a story, and most of the time one person that's gets to tell what they consider the correct narrative, and then you've got the other person that's trying to defend themselves against what everyone thinks is the right narrative. So it was one of the first songs I wrote about my own experience for somebody else. It's a really cool way to write because I get different lyrics out of that. So I wrote about a guy who was struggling to defend himself while also losing friends. So it's kind of about how that's a sucky place to be in. So that's kind of what it's about.
So on to the very next question. So you've also created a song called "Losing It." What was it like getting to create this song, and what's the whole meaning behind this song?
Yeah, I wrote that also as a junior, and I think melodically that's still one of my favorite songs, and people seem to gravitate towards it, I think just because of that reason. But I remember the whole idea was when somebody inconveniences you, causes you problems, the last thing you want to admit that it bothers you. So to other people, the whole first verse is I don't care if I'm living in the back of your mind. I can guarantee that you're no longer in mine, which is the irony because I wouldn't have written the song if it didn't bother me. So I think admitting that internally you're losing it and you don't want to admit it to other people. And I really enjoyed writing that song, and definitely one of my favorites, I think.
So on to the very next question. So you have also created a song called "California Living." Such an incredible song, by the way. What was it like getting to create this song, and what's the whole meaning behind this song?
Usually when I listened to it at first, I was I don't even know what the meaning of the song is. But when I think about when I'd written that, I was a senior, mid-senior in high school, and I was driving to school and I rear-ended somebody. And then I went to school that day and I was oh, and then school was bad, and I got home and I was I had just decided I was going to go to Boston for college. And at that point I was screw Los Angeles. like I hate high school. Like I just want to have new experiences and like go somewhere else. And so kind of just like a song about how like you just want to move on to the next point in life. And I remember like I also just gotten like to learn Logic at that point. So like I figured out what pitch shift was. And so like the male vocal that comes in halfway through is like me just an octave lower, which I think was like a fun little experiment. So yeah.
So on to our very next question. So you have also created a song called Love Away, which was such a sensational song too. What was it like getting to create Love Away, and what's the whole meaning behind Love Away?
I wrote that the same day as Risky Business. So I'm like 13 again. Yeah. And so then I was thinking like, it was also a third person narrative song. So like I had two people that like saw love in very different ways. But at the same time, you got two people that like are willing to work at it. So it's kind of the idea of like opposites attract and how that can work if you like put the effort into it. So yeah, like me at 13 was like, yeah, that's what love is. And I just kind of ran with it. Yeah.
Awesome. So on to our very next question. So you have also created a song called That's Just Living. What's like the whole experience? What was that experience like creating this song, and what's the meaning behind this song?
Mm-hmm. I really still love that song. I wrote it also in third person, kind of like about like choosing to grow up how other people tell you should grow up kind of. And it's one of the few songs I've written that like I don't relate to at all, and I think that that's a really cool way to write as well. Like growing up, like raised to like dip your toes into things and figure out what you like, and so like through like dance class and like marching band and soccer practice and like I like following like really bad fashions and just like looking stupid. Like I look back at those photos and I'm like, oh God. But then I like also say, I can also attest and say like, I look like how I look like now. And I like love what I love because I've tried it all and like figured out what doesn't make sense. So I wrote the opposite of that as opposed to like some friends I had or people I knew who were I grow up and like, this is the career you're going to enter into. And like, this is the money you're going to make. And, yeah, so I wrote it about like a 40-year-old guy who's like married and like makes bank and he's like very successful, but like wonders what life might have looked like if he didn't end up there, kind of thing. So yeah.
So on to our very next question. So you have created a song called Wouldn't That Be Nice? What was it like creating this song, and what's the whole meaning behind this song?
I also like this song. I had like it was like the first month of college, and I had like met someone I really liked. What was like odd about it is like the song before that on my SoundCloud is called Love Is Easy. And like that song is like, I never really write very popular stuff. And so like, it was kind of, wow, I'm so glad. Like, this is exactly what it's supposed to be like. And then right after that, I like released Wouldn't That Be Nice as kind of a callback to like, wouldn't it be nice if love was really that easy? You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I kind of just was sad about the situation. And then, I'm also very thankful for the experience because I can say like from that song forward, I felt like the way I wrote music changed. I wrote more metaphoric stuff. So I'm very thankful for that experience and all that. And yeah, good, happy. I love the song.
So on to the very next question. So you have also created a song called Before You Go. What was it like creating this song, and what's the whole meaning behind this song?
I wrote that the first week of college, and there was like a piano in a room, and I had like that first piano line, then triads kind of moving, and then yeah, it's kind of about like when someone like doesn't like you back, but like it's everything you would say before they left you anyway. So like, yeah, I kind of just ran with that song. I rarely write on piano, so I just started college and I wanted to like upload on SoundCloud, so I kind of just put that one up.
Well, can I just say, like, the songs that we've mentioned so far has, like, your vocal range is truly sensational, as I mentioned before. And I just want to say, you have, like, such a gift inside yourself. Like, you really do. Like, you're truly talented. To people that haven't listened to Natalie's, like, songs, definitely go check them out because Natalie's truly inspirational and one talented singer. And I'd highly recommend people go check out her songs because she is truly incredible. So on to my very next question. So what does performing music mean to you, like, especially as an artist?
I haven't like fully like performed in like a year, which is like sad. But even just like in my classes and like my songwriting classes and stuff, just performing for like the people around me, you still get the same rush from it. And it's like, I think as time goes on, I've realized that like performing is less and less about you and more about like how you translate that to a mass audience. So like for you, like your favorite artist or someone you've seen live, like if you can say about an artist, oh, they're a great performer. Like for me, if I can say that about somebody, it goes below like what the song is about and how that relates to that person. Anyone I've seen live, I've noticed it's a balance between how you say things and how passionate you are about your music and how that translates. If you can bridge that gap, bring people in with you, then I think that's what makes a great performer. And it's just in simple ways, like the way you enunciate or like the way you dictate things, how you move. If you're angry, like be angry. And if you're upset, like make people upset with you. So I think that's what makes a great performer. And like, that's how I try and define how I'd like to perform.
So on to the very next question. So who inspired you as a person, like to get into singing in the first place?
Taylor Swift, which is like very predictable. I had a fan page on it. Was my first Instagram. I had a fan page for Taylor Swift. It was this Instagram. And like, I don't think people know that because I made it my own Instagram, but like now everybody knows that. So yeah, I think I just liked how she was very like dedicated at a very young age. And I was impressed with the stuff she wrote when I was like 13, how that her. Besides that, I've always loved the Lumineers. They've always been a huge inspiration. And Alex Benjamin like kind of taught me how to write in third person and how that's a really good tactic to have.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So if you could work with like any top 3 music artists in the industry, who would they be and why?
This changes by the hour, but currently it's Bridgers. She has an album called Punisher, and it's like, I don't understand how that girl writes music. It's very good. This girl named Ash, who's also a Berkeley grad, she just wrote a song called an album called Ashland. It's really good. And probably Lemon Stella. I think she has like really good tone, and like I think her production style is down for. Yeah.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So what have you learned about yourself, like as a person, like especially during COVID? Because it's been such a rough time for like especially artists like yourself during COVID.
Yeah. I think if I could sum it up, it's that I'm on the right path. I think I've gotten to work with like a production company with a lot of they go by Broom Joe, and I've gotten close with them as people and also like as people I work with. And I think if I can confidently say like in my own personal life, I've always, like I said to my parents, like I feel like as life slowed down, music sped up for me. And that's not even like publicly, it's just personally like things I've been working on just by myself. And if I can say that I enjoy what I love to do every time and like I get up every day and I'm like, oh yeah, music sounds fun, then I think I'm on the right path. And I think a lot of the stuff I've written during COVID, and like I try to think if COVID didn't exist, like, oh, what could I have done? But then I try not to think about that either, because it's what's the point? And I love like the musician I've become and the person I've become in the last year. So yeah.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So what are like the positives and negative sides into like creating music, and how do you get like through those like negative sides as a person?
I think positives is it's a very like individualistic art, and the amount of like genre that exists now is like insane. Like you could be under any genre you want it to be. I just think streaming platforms, the amount of music that exists is like absurd in like the best way possible. And like think about when you're in like the car with a friend and they're like, have you like listened to this artist? And I'm like, no. And like think about how much that like circulates every single day. The flip side of that and the irony in it is that's also a negative, because it's like there's so much music out there. It's like, how is it possible for me to like ever have a say in anything? You know what I mean? But I also think I get past that, where kind of going back to the last question, like if I can sit here and love what I do and enjoy what I do and do it for myself, then live it. Because I believe if I work hard at something and I love stuff, and also go after opportunities, I think what you deem as success, like being a singer-songwriter or being really well known can change. Success can look very different to you. I think the music industry has the same thing that you could be very happy doing and money at and enjoying your life with. So I think I just try not to think about how much music is out there, and I kind of just do my own thing and hope that somebody will like to listen to it.
So on to the very last question. So what's like next for you, like music wise, that you would like to announce on the show?
Like I said, I'm working with the Broom Joe production company. I love them, and they've done so much for me the last year, working together every week. We started doing like single stuff, and then it kind of just piled on. So I now have like kind of enough material for an LP or like an album, which was not planned. So that's about halfway done, and I'm hoping that can be released like fall, winter-ish. And then I have a single coming out soon, which is good. And then I'll continue to do the SoundCloud thing. I like TikTok recently. You can kind of just like put little bits of stuff and it kind of just circulates, and you know, it's a fun place to just do stuff. And yeah, I'll just keep loving music. That's where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Well, would you like to perform one of your songs on the show, by the way?
Yes, I would.
Awesome.
Okay. So this is a song that I hope to be released in Bloodline. I kind of wrote it about how sometimes like between your friend circle, you can feel behind different aspects in life, and like people go through different experiences faster and earlier than you do. And it's kind of waiting for something to be right for you. So that's kind of what it's about.
Save your spot, well, keep it warm. I'll meet you by the willow tree. Skies burn orange, and dewdrop moonlight. We're dancing in the sunrise. You're kind to be my kin, and turn bloodline. That's what love looks like, or so it goes. Love looks alike in anecdotes of lust and storylines. I'll take my time, I'll take it slow. Soon I'll watch the marigolds, this garden grow. I'll save these seeds reserved for you. I'll rest my touch so deep in palms that warm, words won't will go the I'll trust you like my own. And if tides turn capsized, I'll cradle you in sunrise. The feeling, it goes likewise. You're my bloodline. That's what love looks like. So it goes that way. Love looks alike in everyone I've met who tells it so. I'll take my time. And soon I'll watch the marigolds in this garden grow. Save these seeds reserved for you, for you. Oh. Through the storm and out the rain, times will change from yesterday. It's up wonderful. It's all that I've dreamt for. And by the time I've grown, recall the path drawn from the deepest hole. And out the other side, it's beautiful. And that's what love feels like, to hold your own. Love looks alike, coming out the other side. You know, I'll take my time, I'll take it slow. And soon I'll watch the marigolds in this garden grow. I'll save these seeds reserved for you.
Yes, Natalie. Yes. Well, can I just say thank you so much again, Natalie. It's been such a pleasure having you on my show today. Do you have like any last final thoughts that you'd like to say to people on the show?
Yes. Listen to your favorite music, and thank you for having me. This was very fun. It's very reflective. Like, you picked songs that like I haven't thought about in like a long time. So like, it's been good. Very different than what I'm doing now, but it's a good